Continuing our coverage of the 2020 Scouting Combine in Indianapolis, joining us now, the man who discovered Patrick Mahomes. He is Chiefs General Manager Brett Veach. I love the story of how you just banged on the drum and banged on the drum. I mean, everybody knew he was a first-round prospect, but you guys figured out how good he was going to be. And I think the other part of it that was genius was keeping it quiet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if it gets out, then maybe some of these teams at the top of the draft start taking a closer look, and the next thing you know, you can't get him. It's hard enough to go from 27 to 10. You get him from 27 to 2 to get him. So congratulations, number one, on discovering him, and number two, on keeping it quiet.
Keeping it quiet. That's the hardest part. And I think, during that draft process, we knew that basically we weren't going to be able to get higher than 10. So you're right, and you're sitting there thinking, I think we're ahead of the curve on this kid, and we have a plan to get him, but if it gets out, it's not going to take teams at 11, 12, 13. It's an easy move to go from 12 or 13 to 10 as opposed to 27 and 10. So we were kind of locked into 10, and we needed the cards to fall in an exact way, and fortunately for us, they did.
Did you have an inkling at the time of maybe the 2 or 3 other teams that were hot on him?
Listen, I did a lot of work. You'd like to think that you were trying to survey the landscape, and you certainly heard the Cardinals and maybe the Saints, and they're, it's no coincidence that they were 11 and 12 when we got to 10.
Right.
But honestly, the day of the draft felt really good. But when Trubisky went at 2, typically the way these drafts work, when one position goes, there's just a
run, right?
So you think to yourself, wow, one's already off the board.
Yeah.
He might not make it to us, but once Cincinnati turned at the card, and I think it was John Ross, and a lot of high fives and a lot of celebrating.
Yeah.
So you're just watching it every pick.
Oh,
You're just holding your breath when that pick goes, and you're looking to see if the commissioner's mouth is starting with a puh. Like, you don't want that puh to come out.
Really, it's the computer, because the computer spits the name out. So I think I caught myself for those first 9 picks just staring at the computer, just looking for the names to go across the screen.
Oh, that's right, because you guys know in advance.
Yeah,
before the commissioner
there's like a 20-second before it comes on the screen. So just caught ourselves staring at the computer monitors, but the palms were sweaty, and there was a little bit of nervousness until Cincinnati turned the card in.
Did you know you had to get ahead of the Saints and the Cardinals?
Well, we knew that the likelihood of selecting him once it got to them would be lower and lower. Now, listen, maybe they went in a different direction. Maybe they thought about trading back up in late 1. You don't know, but you know that these are teams that have done more extensive work on Mahomes. I mean, when you sit there and you're going through, fortunately I had a good relationship with Pat's agent, Chris Cabot, and you start compiling information, and you realize that there are some teams that are showing a higher probability because of they're doing more visits, they're interacting more, and those teams, more so than others, were way out in front in regards to some of the work they've done, that you realize once you get to those teams, then the risk becomes a lot greater.
So when did you stop celebrating? Are you done celebrating yet?
Well, it's a little bit different in our deal here, because, we won the Super Bowl. We get back on Monday, organizational day Tuesday, parade Wednesday, and then, we always meet for 14 days before the Combine.
Right.
Well, because we were in Miami, we were 6 days behind, so literally that Thursday, me and my scouting staff, we were in the office at 7 a.m. and we were just cranking through the tapes. It was really business as usual. So I don't know if I had a chance to celebrate. I joke with Coach all the time, and Coach is sending me pics from California, and we're in the draft.
I don't know about this business as usual thing on a Thursday. I'm throwing the challenge flag on that.
No, but here's the thing.
I get it.
He's got things he has to do. Like, how hard is it to stay focused on your work? Because you're putting in all that work to eventually win the Super Bowl. Hey, we just won the Super Bowl, right? I'm sure it takes even more discipline in the aftermath of winning the Super Bowl to dot your I's and cross your T's and do everything you need to do, because the train keeps rolling year after year.
Yeah, because everyone will be celebrating in Kansas City, and you know how this works. As soon as you get here and the off-season starts, no one really cares anymore. It's but you do have to find that moment and that time to sit back and just celebrate with the people in the organization. But I think, the Combine being such a quick turnaround really just forced you to, like you said, stay disciplined and stay after your craft.
Which one did you say, oh crap, we're done more in? 24-0 to the Texans or 20-10 with the 49ers? Was there one
That's a great question.
where you were like, oh crap, we're done? Because the Texans ones, I was like, I think they could still come back.
Yeah, I would agree. The Niners game, because it was so much later in the game. You're talking 2010 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Houston happened so fast that even though it wasn't an ideal situation to be in.
Yeah.
You looked at the clock and you saw there's so much time left in the game. Whereas the Niners and given
Their defense,
and
right.
how stingy they've been all year, you looked
Right.
at the clock and you're like 20-10, 7 minutes in the game.
Right.
We got to go. So
Right.
it was a little bit more. Plus the stakes were a little bit higher too. So.
It was amazing.
I'm
to see.
still blown away
Yeah.
by it. I can't even. It's amazing.
Yeah.
One of the things that impressed me, the NFL Films package that culminated in that third down play,
Yeah.
the 44-yard gain from Patrick to Tyreek Hill. The leadership that Patrick was showing on the sidelines, down 10, talking to guys like Tyreek Hill to keep his head in the game. I mean, that's one of those things that you can look at all the film you want.
Yeah.
You don't know that he's going to be that guy until he's there. And I think that's one of the things about Patrick Mahomes that pushes him over the top and puts him in already one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, and that's like you said. I mean, listen, all throughout the league and year in and year out, there's always. I mean, this league doesn't lack for talent. So you're going to have guys that are extremely mobile, guys that have arms and this and that. But it's really those moments that, I mean, until you experience and go through those moments that you know what you really have. And Pat is so unique in the ability. And I tell the guys all the time when people want to ask about Pat, Pat has the ability to go out there and play and perform in a game similar to like when you're in your backyard playing with your friends.
Yeah.
He has the ability to play in front of a big audience. And he gets into this zone where it's really just backyard football,
Right.
and there's no stress.
He's
And
unfazed.
It's crazy.
Well,
And you saw the way when he called. Look, let's run this play. Why not? It doesn't matter what down.
I know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Well, and I don't know if you heard us on the show, but I know my dad got done with the game against you guys and the Titans, and he said one of the things the Titans coach just kept saying is we're not going to blitz him because you can't rattle the guy.
Yeah.
He's never been rattled in his 3 years as
Yeah.
a quarterback. And are you amazed by that?
Yeah, I mean, you think it's crazy. It has to go back to all the years. I think growing up in a clubhouse and I think being around large crowds and professional athletes, it really the moment is never too big for him because he doesn't really have to deal with any environment that is uncomfortable for him.
When does he get that second contract that everyone thinks is going to be $40 million? He'll be the one to break the barrier, $40 million per year. Well, is there a timetable for getting that done?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I don't know if there's a timetable. We have time, and he's not. Listen, he's going to be a Chiefs quarterback for a long, long time. Certainly, with the CBA, looks like it's going to get worked out, and there'll be some dialogue there that we'll have to work through. And then just trying to. And I think the cool thing about Pat and his agent is they realize that he's going to make a lot of money, but they also realize that listen, no one operates in the sense of taking the extreme team discount, but Pat is also very cognizant of wanting to be in a place like Kansas City and win a lot of Super Bowls.
Right.
And there are some things to help the team to make sure that there's always talent around him. So it'll take time.
Yeah.
It'll get done.
Right.
But he's one of those kids. He's a special kid, and his agent, they want to make sure he's surrounded with a bunch of talent too, because I mean he's chasing rings, and that's a good thing, and a good situation for us to be in too.
Yeah, we argue about this a lot. I mean, we do. I mean, I'm always like, ultimately, if he makes $42 million a year, if he takes 38, it's not going to make
It's
a
still
difference.
$4 million a year.
I know,
It's a
but
lot.
it is a lot. I get it. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to disrespect it.
Right, but he thrives on winning.
Yes.
And there's also an element of just real, and obviously the more money a team has, the more talent they can surround, and it'll be one of those things that it'll get done. It'll take time, like they all do, but at a certain time and point, it'll make sense for us, it'll make sense for them, and everybody will be happy.
You get input on the roster. Do you get input on the Super Bowl ring?
In regards to just
The design of it? Yeah.
My take is that I think Clark and his wife Tavia are working on that, and I'm sure Coach will get a look at it. But I think it's hard to I don't know. I've never won one before, but I'm assuming
Right.
it's hard to screw it up, right?
Yeah, right. No, yeah, it's hard to screw it up.
Yeah.
Just make it big and
Yeah,
shiny,
make
and
it
everyone's going to be
shiny.
happy.
Where will you keep it? Will you wear it? I would wear that damn thing every day. I'd
Yeah.
wear it in the shower. I'd wear it in the swimming pool. I'd wear it when I sleep. I'd never take it off.
Yeah, that's a great question. I haven't even thought about that. I'm anxious to see what it looks like,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there'll be some special moments where you want to break it out. And other than that, I'm sure I'll have a place for it in a safe somewhere.
Hey,
Right.
and you're not going to like this. Get ready. We have a big enough place because it ain't going to be the only one.
Yeah, I hope so.
It's not going to be the only one.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a whole family of them.
Yeah.
But it's going to look like they're reproducing by the time it's
Yeah,
all said
well,
and
that
done with
would be
Patrick Mahomes. So congratulations
That
on
would be
getting that
awesome.
Yeah,
table
I
set.
wanted to ask one more thing. Just as we talked about Mahomes, there's Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Chris Jones. I mean, is that priority number one right now?
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you do something that hadn't been done in a franchise for 50 years, that win a Super Bowl, you realize that you had a talented team.
Yeah.
And, when you got Frank Clark and Chris Jones, on that defensive line, to go with Pat Mahomes on the offensive side, there's no better place to start. There'll be some difficulties and some challenges for us, and to manipulate everything. But it's certainly something that we want to get done, and we're going to work to see if we can make it happen.
Yeah. All right, Brett, congratulations, man. It's been fun to watch. Go Chiefs. And
Super Bowl. They got
go.
their own camera now. Look, that's the Chiefs. They're big time.
All right, we'll be back with more from Indy.
Appreciate you, man.
Good luck, man.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.